What's going on YouTube? Burlington Northern HO fan here, and today we've got a little bit of a shorter video, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my typical airbrush weathering technique and what I do when I weather a boxcar or something like that. Typically I would start with, when you're weathering, I'd start with something that's cheap and not that expensive, something like this type of boxcar for example. So today I'm going to show you how I would weather something like this, and yeah, I'll show you my techniques. Alright, here we are in my little painting station, I guess you could say. We have the boxcar right here, and then we have my airbrush. It's a cheap little master airbrush, nothing too crazy. So it should be clean enough, but I'll clean it out with some rubbing alcohol before I put paint through it. But so let's actually start with that. Let's get some rubbing alcohol. Or this kit that I bought comes with a paint remover that you can throw through it. But it will it's a pretty small bottle, so I kind of ran out of it. But so what I usually do is I put my finger on the front, and then I just kind of pull back and let the bubbles come out. That way it kind of circulates paint and everything. And then I'll just kind of lightly start spraying it out of the gun if it's not clogged. Alright, give me 1 second here. Alright, so I had to kind of work it a little bit more, but now we have a spray coming out of the gun. So just kind of keep circulating it, spraying it out. Circulate a little more. And then when I feel like that's kind of ready, I'll just dump the rest out into the cup. And then I'm going to go get a towel and I'm going to wipe the inside of this out. So give me 1 second. Alright, now that I've got this completely nicely cleaned out, I am going to grab some paint. We'll start with some of this surface primer. And we're just putting some paint in here just to run it through and make sure it's got a nice even spread when it comes out. So we're not putting a lot of paint in here. And then I like to use this styrofoam plate for test purposes. Get a nice, see, I'm pulling full all the way back. So if we there we go, we're getting a nice even coat. So now we should be ready to paint. So I'm going to leave this surface primer in here because that's part of the color that I want. But I also want some other colors, so let me go grab those. Okay, so along with that surface primer paint, I've got this rust color, the dark brown color, the orange rust color, and we have the yellow ochre, and we have light rust, and then the surface primer again. These all came with the kit that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and they've been working pretty well for me. So they're actually they're for little like models of tanks or rust cars or stuff like that. But hey, it works for this too. So I grabbed them, picked them up, and they've worked pretty well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a little, not so much rusty, I'm going to go for like a dirty color, not like so much rust. So I'm going to go with the brown, and I'm going to shove the brown in here. So we're going to kind of just drip that in there. Okay. Then we could probably, it might be a little dark. I'm going to throw a little bit of the yellow in here. Just a little couple drops of yellow. Now, should be ready to paint. Just get that mixed up in there. Sometimes I just kind of, I do that to mix up the paint. Probably shouldn't do that, but that's what I do. Alright, now we can put the cap on. And now I can show you what I would start with on the car. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these trucks off, and I'm going to do the trucks first. So I'm going to put this back in here. And we're going to just, with these Tyco trucks, you just pull them off. Like so. Okay. And now, what we can do is we take, we'll hold it by the coupler. And we just kind of get them painted. Just like that. Not too crazy, not too much, but just enough to look good. There we go. Put that one off to the side. We'll grab the other one. Other one. There we go. Alright, so we've got our two trucks painted. Now we can move on to the boxcar itself. And what I usually do is I go along the bottom with some dirt, so like this. And I'm probably going to get paint on my hands, but I don't really care. Along the bottom, just like so. That's where most of the dirt's going to be. And then what I kind of do is I follow the lines of the boxcar coming down. Like so. Kind of like that. And then for the top, I just kind of go back and forth. Kind of like that. So some of these lines are a little darker than I want, but I can wipe them off and redo them if I want. But we're going to do the same for this side. Follow the lines again. So that one's this side's a little better than the other side. But it's just paint, it can come off, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And that's why you start on a cheaper boxcar first. So you get to get your bearings on what you're doing. And I'm gonna, for the sides, I usually just kind of go along the bottom and then a light dusting all along the top here, just like that. But more towards the bottom. So we just go. Go a little bit heavier towards the bottom. Just like that. And there we go. And there we go. Boxcar is all back together. Kind of cleaned up a little bit of the shoddiness that I did on this side. So we are ready. This is pretty much the extent of how much I would weather a boxcar. I probably wouldn't go any further than this, but that's my skill level. That's what I would do. But let's get this thing on the track and we'll see how it looks with some other boxcars. All right, here we go. We have it on the track. I've got my SD60M here with a conversion boxcar. So on this side it has a knuckle coupler, and this side it has a horn hook. And here we have our boxcar that we just painted. This is also a conversion flat car. It has a knuckle coupler on one side and a horn hook on the other. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, for a Tyco boxcar, it doesn't look too bad next to the two more quality boxcars here. So let's see how this thing runs around the track. You're about to see this big, giant 86-foot Burlington route boxcar. This is another one that I weathered. This boxcar was actually on the channel a while back, but I ended up upgrading it, giving it metal wheels, and I gave it knuckle couplers, and it actually runs around the track now. So, let's get a good shot of this. Okay, I've changed it now because that car was an issue. Now we have a better car on the layout. And as you can see, it actually looks pretty nice being pulled behind this better model for a Tyco boxcar. So weathering your Tyco equipment does make it look a little bit more realistic. So, looks pretty good to me. Well, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help you out with getting over your first hurdle of wanting to weather a boxcar or equipment. I highly recommend working on something you don't care about first. That way, if you do mess it up, you can just try again. But this is about what I do for most of my boxcars. When I started weathering, I did stuff like this. I used a spray can, and it's just it doesn't look as good as that. So, and that's not even my best work. I think my big 86-footer back there is a better paint job than this one, but it kind of varies. You learn the trade, you learn the process of it, and same thing with locomotives too. Here, this is one I weathered. I wouldn't dare doing this on the top. I've only weathered the bottom. I put dirt and all I did was spray paint or airbrush the bottom. So, but. You do what you think you can do, so you don't overexert yourself. But other than that, though, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.